Truth is a force, not just an abstract concept, but an undeniable energy that permeates everything. It is not bound by time or space. It exists as a powerful undercurrent in our lives, quietly shaping our realities, waiting for the right moment to break through. And in this moment, truth will demand to be heard, seen, and acknowledged. It will shatter illusions, dismantle barriers, and expose what has long been hidden in the darkness. But there is power in truth, power that is often overlooked, misunderstood, or even feared. As chosen ones, those of you reading or listening to these words are uniquely attuned to this energy. You are the conduits for this truth, the ones who are here to catalyze a change that cannot be ignored. Your presence alone forces others to confront what they would rather leave buried. Your energy is an awakening, an invitation for all to stop hiding from themselves and face the raw reality of what has been suppressed. The truth you bring to the surface is often uncomfortable. It stirs up emotions. It shakes the foundations of what people believe to be safe or stable. But your role, as difficult as it may seem, is not to shy away from this responsibility. You are not here to blend in, to conform, or to make others feel comfortable. You are here to be a living, breathing testament to the undeniable power of truth. The moment you awaken to the truth of who you are, everything begins to change. No longer will you be bound by the constraints of others' expectations. No longer will you accept the lies that others tell themselves to avoid the discomfort of self-awareness. You will rise above, unwavering, undeterred, because the truth within you is far greater than any illusion they have tried to construct. And in that moment, when you are fully aligned with your truth, you will see it clearly. You were never meant to fit into the world as it is. You were meant to shake it to its core. The truth that lives inside you will guide you, challenge you, and ultimately empower you to fulfill your higher purpose. This is where the story begins, not just for you, but for everyone around you. The spark, the unseen battle beneath the surface. What most people don't understand is that the battle for truth is never as simple as it seems. It is not something that happens on the surface or in the physical world alone. The conflict begins long before fists are thrown or words are exchanged. It starts deep within the hearts and minds of those around you. You see, everyone carries their own truths, some buried so deep that they can hardly remember them, some hidden behind masks of pride, fear, or self-deception. The tension between illusion and truth starts as a quiet whisper, an unspoken fear that grows louder over time. For the chosen ones, the spark that ignites this internal battle can feel almost unbearable. You walk into a room, and suddenly the energy shifts. People become uneasy, their masks start to crack, and they realize that you are not just an ordinary person. You are a living disruption to everything they have carefully constructed. They may not know exactly why, but they feel it. The unease, the discomfort of being in the presence of something far greater than their illusions. This spark can create a whirlwind of emotions in others. It can cause jealousy, resentment, fear, and even admiration, but these emotions are not always seen for what they are. They are simply reactions to a force they cannot control, a force that you represent. The truth you carry within you does not belong to you alone. It is meant to be shared with the world. It is a truth that others must confront, whether they are ready or not. This inner battle, the one that happens behind closed doors in their hearts and minds, is the true conflict. They try to ignore it, to downplay your significance, to pretend that your presence means nothing. But the deeper they bury their feelings, the more powerful the internal struggle becomes. And that struggle cannot be contained forever. It will inevitably spill over into the world, into their interactions, into their relationships. The spark has already been lit, and there is no turning back. The truth unleashed, the moment of reckoning. There comes a point when the pressure of hidden truths becomes too great to bear. The tension that has been building beneath the surface finally reaches a breaking point, and when it does, everything changes. This is the moment of reckoning, the moment when the truth, that unstoppable force, bursts forth into the light, and nothing can remain hidden anymore. It is the moment when lies and deception are stripped away, leaving only the raw, unfiltered reality of what has been buried for far too long. For the chosen ones, this moment is both liberating and terrifying. It is the point of no return, the point where you can no longer remain silent or passive. The truth demands to be spoken, and when it is, it creates a ripple effect that cannot be undone. It will shatter illusions, tear down walls, and force people to confront their own denial. In the moment of reckoning, the power of truth will shake the very foundation of everything they have built to protect themselves. It is not a peaceful revelation. It is explosive, disruptive, and often chaotic. But the moment of reckoning is also transformative. It is a necessary step in the awakening process. Without this moment, there can be no real change. Without the confrontation of truth, there can be no growth. The truth, no matter how uncomfortable or painful, is the catalyst for healing, for releasing old wounds, and for finally moving forward. In this moment, the universe makes its move. It reveals what has been hidden, what has been suppressed, and what has been ignored. Those who are not ready to face the truth may lash out, may resist, but even in their resistance, the truth remains. It does not bend or break to accommodate their denial. The moment of reckoning is the great equalizer. It exposes everything for what it truly is, and there is no hiding from it. The fight, more than just a physical altercation. When most people think of a fight, they think of physical violence, the clash of bodies, the release of pent-up aggression. But the fight we are talking about is much deeper, much more profound than a mere physical altercation. This fight is a spiritual battle, a battle between truth and illusion, between the comfort of denial and the discomfort of awakening. It is a struggle that begins long before the fists fly, and it will continue long after the dust has settled. In this fight, the protagonist, you, the chosen one, do not need to lift a finger to win. Your very presence is enough to expose the lies and deceptions that have been hidden for so long. You are not here to prove anything, to fight for your right to be seen, or to defend your worth. You stand firm because you know that the truth within you speaks louder than any external force. Your energy alone forces others to confront what they have been avoiding. And this confrontation, this clash of energies, is what triggers the emotional and spiritual fight. As the confrontation escalates, emotions that have been carefully suppressed start to boil over. Fear, jealousy, anger, all of these emotions, which have been hiding behind facades of politeness and indifference, come crashing to the surface. People react not just to what you have said or done, but to what you represent, the truth that cannot be denied. And when truth and illusion collide, the fallout is inevitable. The masks fall away. The lies are exposed, and the fight is no longer just about words or actions. It is about survival, the survival of the ego, the survival of the identity that has been built on falsehoods. But here's the key: you are not involved in this fight. You are simply the catalyst. You are the mirror that forces others to see themselves for who they really are. And when the truth is reflected back at them, they cannot escape it. They may try to fight it, resist it, or suppress it once more, but in the end, the truth will always win. This is not just a fight between people. It is a cosmic battle between the forces of light and darkness, between awakening and denial. And you, as the chosen one, are a crucial part of this battle. You are not just watching it unfold. You are part of the energy that is shifting the very foundation of the world around you. This fight, while difficult and painful, is an essential part of the greater spiritual awakening that is happening on a collective level. The catalyst, your energy, is the key. It is often said that the energy we emit is more powerful than the words we speak or the actions we take. Energy is the invisible force that shapes our interactions, affects the environments we enter, and leaves an indelible mark on those we encounter. For the chosen ones, this energy is not something you simply control. It is something you radiate effortlessly because it is aligned with your higher truth. Your energy is the key that unlocks the potential for deep transformation, not only in your own life, but in the lives of those around you. It is the spark that ignites the hidden fires of truth, the force that moves mountains, shifts perspectives, and exposes the illusions that others have been clinging to for far too long. When you walk into a room, the very atmosphere shifts. People feel it before they even see you. There is an energy in you that is undeniable, that forces others to either confront their own truths or retreat into denial. They may not fully understand what they are feeling, but they know, on a visceral level, that something is different. Your presence disturbs their comfort zone, compelling them to deal with what they have been trying to avoid. Whether consciously or unconsciously, they feel the pull of your energy, the invitation to step into a higher state of awareness. Your energy is magnetic, but not in the way the world often understands magnetism. It does not seek to attract for the sake of validation, but to awaken, to shake others from their slumber, to break through the layers of illusions that they have wrapped themselves in. But this power comes with its own set of challenges. You are not simply a passive observer in the world. You are an active participant in its spiritual evolution. Your energy will trigger reactions. People will either rise to meet you or resist, but in either case, they will be affected. The resistance may appear in the form of conflict, jealousy, frustration, or even anger, but it is all rooted in their inability to deal with the truth that your presence brings to the surface. Your energy is a mirror, a reflection of what is hidden, suppressed, and ignored. And while you cannot control how others react, you can control the energy you put out into the world. That is your responsibility, to remain grounded in your own truth, to be aware of the power that you carry, and to use it for the greater good. When you understand the depth of the energy you possess, you begin to recognize that your role is not to chase after external validation or to fight for recognition. Your energy alone is enough. It will shift timelines, change outcomes, and inspire others to face themselves. As a chosen one, your energy is the key to unlocking the transformation that needs to take place within yourself and in the world. And this key, when turned, opens doors that cannot be closed again. Once the truth is revealed, there is no going back. And so, the energy you carry is a force of revelation, awakening, and, ultimately, ascension. The aftermath, what the fight reveals. When the dust settles after a fight, when the initial chaos subsides and the aftermath begins to unfold, the truth becomes even clearer. What once seemed like a random outburst of anger or emotion is now seen for what it truly was, a moment of exposure, a moment where everything hidden was finally brought to light. The fight itself may have been physical, verbal, or even silent, but the revelations that came in its wake are far more important than the event itself. It is in the aftermath that the real truths are revealed, the truths about people, about their fears, their vulnerabilities, and their deepest desires. For the chosen ones, this moment is both a confirmation and a challenge. You were the catalyst that triggered the fight, but now, in the aftermath, you are presented with a choice. How do you respond to the shifts that are taking place around you? Do you seek to control the narrative, to fight for validation, or do you simply observe, knowing that your role was never to control others, but to help guide them to the truth within themselves? The aftermath of a fight is when the illusions start to crumble. What was once hidden behind masks of politeness, conformity, or falsehoods is now exposed, and people must face what they have been trying to avoid. This is the true impact of your energy. Those who were once unwilling or unable to confront their own truth now find themselves forced to reckon with it. Some will be shaken to their core. The fight may have revealed things they were not ready to face, and the emotions that surface will be raw, unprocessed, and difficult to handle. These are the people who will resist the truth, who will try to downplay their emotions or deflect by creating new distractions. Others may have a different reaction. The fight might have triggered a release of pent-up emotions, a letting go of the old narrative they had been clinging to. These are the people who will experience a breakthrough, a moment of clarity, and a shift in their understanding. But regardless of how others react, the aftermath always reveals one thing: the truth will not be hidden anymore. It has already been exposed, and there is no escaping it. For you, the chosen one, the aftermath is a moment of reflection and growth. It is a time to observe how others are reacting, to see who is willing to confront their own demons and who will choose to stay in the shadows. It is a time to reinforce your own understanding of your role in this process of revelation. You did not start the fight, but you were the catalyst that made it inevitable. Now, As the aftermath unfolds, you must stay centered in your truth, knowing that you are not responsible for the choices others make in how they handle what has been revealed. Your job is not to fix anyone. It is simply to stand firm in the truth, to let the revelations continue to unfold, and to trust that the process of transformation will happen in its own time. The power of divine justice, the weight of consequences. When the truth comes to light, the forces of divine justice begin to unfold. This is not the justice of the human world, where courts and laws attempt to bring balance to the chaos. This is a higher form of justice, a cosmic law that operates beyond the reach of time, space, or human intervention. Divine justice is not a matter of retribution. It is the natural consequence of actions that have been taken. It is the law of cause and effect, where every choice, every lie, every deception has its inevitable consequence. For the chosen ones, this is a powerful reminder that, while you may feel as though you are standing outside of the drama, you are still part of the greater flow of universal energy that ensures everything comes back into balance. Divine justice operates from a place of truth. It does not punish, but it does not tolerate the falsification of reality either. Those who have tried to manipulate, deceive, or suppress the truth will find themselves facing the weight of their own actions. The universe does not allow such distortions to persist forever. It works in subtle, mysterious ways, ensuring that those who choose to live in denial or who try to control the narrative will eventually come to a point where they can no longer escape the consequences of their choices. The truth always wins because it cannot be hidden. And when the truth is revealed, divine justice steps in, not to destroy, but to realign, to restore balance, and to return what was taken. For those involved in the fight, the aftermath will not be a quiet period. The consequences of their actions will reverberate through their lives, whether they realize it immediately or not. These consequences may appear as broken relationships, lost opportunities, or an internal spiritual unrest that cannot be ignored. The weight of these consequences will grow heavier as time goes on, until they are forced to face what they have done, the lies they told, and the truths they ignored. This is not an external force at play. It is the natural unfolding of the universe's laws. You, the chosen one, are merely a vehicle for this justice to be revealed. You do not need to chase after those who have wronged you. You do not need to engage in revenge. Divine justice is already at work, and it will bring about the necessary changes in the right time. Transformation and growth, the awakening process. Transformation is not a smooth journey. It is a messy, painful, and often uncomfortable process of shedding old layers and stepping into a new reality. But for the chosen ones, this transformation is an essential part of your journey. It is not just about personal growth, but about the collective awakening of consciousness. As you awaken to your truth, as you shed the illusions that once held you back, you become a beacon for others to do the same. The process of transformation requires you to embrace discomfort, to face the unknown, and to trust that in the end, it is all leading you to a higher state of being. The awakening process is not always easy. It often requires letting go of old beliefs, relationships, and patterns of behavior that no longer serve you. It means stepping into the unknown, leaving behind the comfort of the past, and embracing a future that is aligned with your true purpose. This process can be disorienting, even frightening, but it is also incredibly empowering. As you transform, you shed the layers of conditioning that have been placed upon you by society, by family, or by your own fears. You begin to recognize the power that resides within you, the energy that you carry, and the higher purpose you are here to fulfill. But transformation is not just about personal growth. It is about collective change. As you awaken, you begin to see that your role is not just to transform yourself, but to help others do the same. Your journey becomes a mirror for others, a guidepost that shows them the way toward their own awakening. You become a source of inspiration, not by forcing change upon others, but by simply embodying your truth. Your transformation is a beacon of hope for those who are still lost in their own illusions. It shows them that change is possible, that growth is possible, and that the path to awakening is open to everyone who is willing to take the first step. In the end, transformation is about embracing who you truly are. It is about shedding the false identity that was never yours to begin with and stepping into the full power of your true self. As you do this, you will begin to understand that your journey is not just about you. It is part of a much larger cosmic process of evolution. And the more you embrace your awakening, the more you help others embrace theirs. This is the true power of the chosen ones, to awaken the world, one truth at a time, and to guide others through their own transformations. The higher perspective, seeing through the illusion. Life, in its most profound sense, is not what it appears to be on the surface. There is a deeper, more complex reality that lies beneath the veil of our daily experiences, one that is hidden from the untrained eye. Most people walk through life guided by their perceptions, driven by their emotions, fears, and the illusions that have been carefully constructed over years. They see the world through a lens shaped by conditioning, by society, by their past experiences, and by their limited understanding of who they truly are. But for those who are awakened, for the chosen ones, there is a higher perspective that transcends these illusions. Seeing through the illusion is about understanding that what we perceive with our physical senses is only a small fraction of the full picture. What appears to be real is often a projection, a temporary construct that can be shifted, altered, or broken down at any moment. The reality we experience is shaped by our beliefs, our thoughts, and the energy we put out into the world. The truth, however, is something far deeper, something that does not depend on external circumstances, but on an inner knowing, a deep connection to the universal energy that binds all things together. When you begin to see through the illusion, you stop being swayed by external chaos, by the opinions of others, and by the ever-changing tides of the material world. Instead, you begin to focus on what is constant, on what is unshakable, and on what has always been true. The chosen ones are uniquely positioned to see beyond the illusions. It is not that you are special in any grand or egotistical way, but rather that you have chosen, on some level, to awaken to a deeper truth. This awakening is not always easy. It requires you to face uncomfortable truths, to challenge long-held beliefs, and to question everything you thought you knew. The world around you may seem chaotic, unpredictable, or even frightening, but from a higher perspective, all of this is part of the divine order. There is a plan at work, and even when things appear to be falling apart, they are actually falling into place. The higher perspective allows you to see the bigger picture, the interconnectedness of all things, the cosmic dance that unfolds behind the scenes, and the deeper purpose that underlies every event, every encounter, and every choice. Seeing through the illusion also means understanding that everything is temporary. The pain, the suffering, the conflicts, and even the joy are fleeting. They come and go, but the truth remains. It is the constant that can never be altered. It is the foundation upon which all else is built. Once you come to understand this truth, the fear of loss begins to dissipate. You stop holding on so tightly to the external world because you know that it is just a passing phase. What matters is the truth you carry within you, the essence of who you are that is not bound by time, space, or the opinions of others. The higher perspective frees you from the illusion of separation, the idea that you are just an individual struggling against the world. It reveals the truth that we are all connected, all part of the same divine energy, and all on a journey toward awakening. As you begin to live from this higher perspective, you will find that your life changes in ways that you could not have predicted. Things that once seemed important will lose their significance, and things that you once took for granted will take on new meaning. You will begin to see the truth in others, not just their actions, but their energy. You will recognize that the conflict you experience with others is not personal, but a reflection of their own inner struggle to break free from the illusion. And you will begin to live with a sense of peace, knowing that no matter what happens on the outside, you are always connected to the truth that exists within. Embracing the unseen, the role of synchronicity. In the world of the chosen ones, synchronicity plays an essential and undeniable role. It is not just a coincidence or a chance occurrence. It is a divine force at work, guiding us toward our true purpose and aligning us with the universal flow of energy. Synchronicity is the universe's way of speaking to us, sending us messages, signs, and symbols that help us navigate our lives. It is the unseen force that works behind the scenes, bringing together people, events, and opportunities in ways that may seem random at first, but which always lead us toward a greater understanding of our true selves. To embrace the unseen is to understand that not everything in life is meant to be understood by the mind alone. There are things happening beyond our comprehension, things that are orchestrated by a higher power, and when we learn to trust in these unseen forces, we begin to align with the flow of the universe. This alignment is what leads to synchronicity, the seemingly miraculous events and encounters that appear when we least expect them. It is the universe's way of showing us that we are on the right path, that we are in the process of fulfilling our greater purpose, and that everything we need is already being drawn toward us. Synchronicity, however, requires an openness to the unseen. It requires us to let go of the need to control every outcome and to trust that the universe is working in our favor, even when it may not seem so. Often, the signs we receive are subtle, an unexpected encounter, a moment of intuition, a symbol that appears out of nowhere. At first, we may question whether these events are simply coincidences, but when we start to pay attention, we begin to see patterns emerge. The universe speaks to us in whispers, not shouts, and it is up to us to listen. For the chosen ones, synchronicity is a guiding light, a map that leads us through the twists and turns of life. When we learn to recognize the signs, we begin to see how everything fits together perfectly, how each step we take is part of a larger divine plan. The key is to remain open and aware, to trust that the universe is unfolding exactly as it should, and to recognize that every encounter, every person, and every experience has meaning. Even the challenges we face are part of the cosmic design, pushing us toward growth, transformation, and deeper understanding. Embracing synchronicity also means embracing the unknown. It means letting go of the need to know what comes next, trusting that the path will reveal itself in perfect timing. It requires us to surrender to the process of life and to trust that, no matter how unclear the road ahead may seem, we are always being guided. When we stop trying to force outcomes and allow ourselves to be guided by the unseen, we step into the flow of divine energy, and synchronicity becomes our constant companion. It is the universe's way of showing us that we are never truly alone, that we are always supported, and that we are always exactly where we need to be. The everlasting power of truth. Truth in its purest form is eternal. It cannot be changed, manipulated, or destroyed. It exists beyond time and space, beyond the physical realm, and it is the foundation of all that is. For the chosen ones, understanding the power of truth is not just an intellectual exercise, it is a way of life. Once you align yourself with the truth, everything begins to shift. The lies that once held you back, the illusions that once defined your reality, begin to fall away, and you are left with the clarity of who you truly are. The everlasting power of truth is what guides you through every challenge, every obstacle, and every moment of doubt. It is the anchor that keeps you grounded when the world around you seems to be in chaos. Truth does not need to be defended or explained. It simply is. And when you stand in your truth, it radiates outward, touching everyone and everything around you. It has the power to heal, to transform, and to uplift. It is the light that dispels darkness, the force that dissolves fear, and the energy that leads you toward your highest purpose. For the chosen ones, your journey is not about finding truth, it is about embracing it. It is about allowing the truth to work through you, to guide you, and to shape your path. And as you do this, you begin to see how the truth of who you are is intricately woven into the fabric of the universe. Your truth is not separate from the greater truth of existence. It is part of it, an essential piece of the divine puzzle that, when fully realized, brings everything into harmony. The power of truth is everlasting because it is not bound by time or circumstance. It remains constant, regardless of the trials and tribulations you face. It will outlast the illusions, the lies, and the distractions that the world throws at you. When you align with the truth, you are aligning with something far greater than yourself. You are stepping into the flow of divine energy, and in that flow, you will find the peace, the clarity, and the strength you need to navigate the world. In the end, the everlasting power of truth is what allows you to live authentically, to be unapologetically yourself, and to fulfill your divine purpose. It is the force that drives you forward, the energy that connects you to the universe, and the light that illuminates your path. And as you continue on your journey, remember that truth is not something you need to search for. It is something that is already within you. It is the essence of who you are. And it is the key to unlocking the fullness of your potential. Stand in your truth and watch as the world around you begins to shift and transform in ways you never thought possible. This is the everlasting power of truth, an energy that will never fade, never waver, and never fail you.